This is Mark Bell from SuperTraining.tv, Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West, with a question from Dark Shadow 54. Dark Shadow has a question about grip training, a question about lower back training, and a question about training the abdominals for deadlifting and squatting. He's triple dipping, I call that. The main thing to learn about your training is you need to have your ducks in a row. And when I say ducks in a row, I mean ducks in a row, as you can see there. On a more serious note, in order for you to train your grip, in order for you to train your lower back, and in order for you to train your abdominals properly, you're going to have to utilize some exercises that you're probably not currently using, because the progress that you're making, you're probably not happy with that right now. So let's introduce some new stuff. I'm a big fan of doing exercises for the abdominals that require you to hold the exercise for 3 to 5 seconds, while you're in a fixed position with some weights. So, for example, sit-ups off the glute ham raise with a 25-pound plate or 50-pound dumbbell or something like that, or against bands. And as you come up, hold it for 3 to 5 seconds at the top and do a set of 6 to 10 reps somewhere in there. Another example, an exercise I'm a big fan of, are side bends. And again, you can hold those at the top for 3 to 5 seconds as well. I like to do them against bands. I like to do them with dumbbells. I like to do them with kettlebells. I like to do them a lot of different ways. Find whatever you like and figure it out from there. Another great exercise, very underestimated exercise, is to utilize a plank, a weighted plank. To have someone throw some chains on your back or a plate or two and try to hold a plank. It is brutal. You can do it with your elbows elevated or your feet elevated. I like to do mine into foam, and that way I'm sinking down in the foam and I got to clutch down and flex even harder. I don't really know what's going on with my forehead here. Maybe just because I'm getting old, or maybe because I'm fat, or maybe a combination of the two, but it's like, just keeps moving around, sliding around. It's it's like a thing of Play-Doh up there or something. It's head cleavage, as some people have called it. Maybe I should go like that, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, it's pretty bright out here, and I'm about to pick up some sushi once again because I'm addicted. So let's get to your next question. You got a question about grip training. There's a great article in Power Magazine, thepowermagazine.com. You can subscribe there, about grip training from Smitty. From Diesel Crew. He wrote an article about grip training, and he wrote about how if you round your back or you deadlift, you do some exercises in some funky positions, it sets the weight into your hands even further, and it makes you work your grip even more. So I utilize that tip along with a tip from my homie Donnie Thompson, the only man to ever total 3,000 pounds in powerlifting, by utilizing the fat bar for deadlift training. And I do that quite often. I do that nearly every single week. I use the fat bar, and when I do so, I round over. We have video of that on supertraining.tv. You're going to want to check that out. I use the fat bar. I'll work up for a heavy set of 3, a heavy set of 5, usually, somewhere in that range. I hold the weights at the top, and I do a double overhand grip while rounding the upper back. Sometimes I do them conventional, sometimes I do them sumo. I just switch it up. Let's see, what else we got for grip training? Another good one for grip and for your abs is a side deadlift, made popular by Eddie Cohn. Some of you may have heard of Eddie Cohn. 901 deadlift at 220. Squatted over 1,000 pounds about 1 million times at 220 and 242 as well. A side deadlift, I'll see if I can show you here a little bit. Just basically you hold a barbell, and you're just going to hold the barbell in a rack, like in a cage, and you're just going to take it from the rack, and you're just going to pick it up. So you're basically doing a side bend with a barbell. Very simple exercise. So that'll work your grip and your stomach. Now, you had a question about training the spinal erectors. don't use terms like that here at the Power Project. We like to keep it simple because I know you guys are just as dumb as me, or maybe even worse in some cases. So let's keep it simple. Let's keep it easy. Let's talk about training the lower back. What do we got for lower back exercise? We got deficit pulls. We have good mornings. We have we have snatch grip deadlifts, which are awful. Those will work both your grip and your lower back. The snatch grip deadlift is a great exercise. I would only recommend using it for either your warm-ups or as an assistance exercise. So you'd almost use it in the same fashion that you would use a stiff leg deadlift. And speaking of stiff leg deadlifts are a great builder of the lower back. Again, Eddie Cohn used to use them, so obviously they work. He used to use them every single workout. Exercises like bent over rows, where you don't really realize that it's working your lower back, but it is. It's working your entire back. So don't discredit any sort of rowing motion. Any sort of rowing motion is going to work your entire back as well and will help improve your squats and your deadlifts. But again, good mornings. I like to do good mornings only with specialty barbells, but you can obviously do them with a straight bar, safety squat bar, cambered bar, buffalo bar. Those bars are, I'm in favor of those because you're able to set the weight up on your back a little bit differently, and you're able to just distribute your center of gravity a little bit differently. Try doing some good mornings against some chains or some bands where the weights are light at the bottom, heavy at the top. Good mornings are very challenging. They're very hard when the weights are heavy at the bottom. Just the strength curve on a good morning is quite awkward. Once you get it moving from the bottom, it's very easy as you get to the top. So try to accommodate that in some way and try to get some band and some chain on there. I think that's it pretty much for ab training, for grip training. Shadow 54, Dark Shadow 54. I think I answered all your questions. You asked another question if I've seen Matt Wenning's 4-part thingamajig on YouTube about do you think you know squat? And actually I have seen some of that. I'm a YouTube fanatic. I watch everything I possibly can to make myself better. I have seen that. It's fantastic. Matt Wenning is a savage. He's a beast, and he writes for Power Magazine, so of course I love him. Anyway, that is it from supertraining.tv. Later.